This is, as you talk about, we talk about the Christianity and this weird extreme right Christianity that's permeating the Republican Party. There is this militant element of it. The Colorado Supreme Court ruled that Donald Trump shouldn't be on the ballot. All of a sudden, reading how many death threats people are calling up are dumb enough to call up a Supreme Court justice in a state and send a death threat there. Numerous ones. It's permeated.
They not block caller ID? Like,
I don't say it would. In Minnesota, we designed a new state flag because the old flag was kind of garbage, and we designed a new state flag. And I've heard from people who are on that commission that and this was a bipartisan, far right, far left. Everyone was on this committee, and they're getting death threats from these rightos who are like, "Why are you against tradition?" That sort of thing. Yeah. There is this weird dichotomy that's within the Republican Party where it's this, I love Jesus, but we're going to kill all of you. And it really is, it's becoming more and more obnoxious and obvious, and I think barreling towards an inevitable conclusion here.
Well, God, I hope not, if your conclusion is what I think it is. But the problem is again, and I won't go into, we've talked about this now for a segment, is that their Jesus is not Jesus. They don't really love Jesus. Jesus is a symbol, the way Donald Trump is a symbol, the way they can take it. When you hear them start claiming, their thing the last sort of 10, 15 years is to try to claim that Martin Luther King, if they're alive today, would be a Republican. Yeah. They claim John Kennedy would be. Any kind of charismatic figure they try to adopt as their own and turn into somebody that's a right-wing lunatic like them, mostly because they're all such losers bereft of personality, and charisma. I mean, Reagan had it, and he may be one of the few last, and don't get me wrong, I would argue his presidency was terrible, but he genuinely seemed like a happy guy. The more recent ones are all angry and they just want to hurt people. The phrase that's become popular, the cruelty is the point. They feel better by, the old Lyndon Baines Johnson line, which is, as long as you can get the lowest white man to feel like he's above the highest black man, you could win his vote. I mean, it's not just white and black, that's part of it, but it's everything. It's, they are scared, about the fact that we are eventually becoming a majority minority country, and that they're losing their power, which they never earned. They won by force, and they never earned by their ideas. They made sure people didn't vote, who realized that they were a bunch of cranks who didn't know what the hell they were talking about. And, somebody put up, I can't remember what it was the other day, just to give you an idea, of this, and how the Electoral College and the failures of our media and the right-wing propaganda system just screws all of this up. I think, I feel like this is since Nixon, but it could be since, I may be getting the timeline wrong. Do you know that we have created in this country 49 million jobs? Do you know how many of those were created under Democratic presidents? I'm going to let you guess, Matt.
49 million. I'm going to guess at least 44.
A little bit higher.
A little bit higher. 47.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely. When you count the net negatives under Bush and under Trump and all that, 47 million of the net positive jobs have been created. I mean, how we don't make this argument, how the media doesn't talk about this, because their economic plan, as George H.W. Bush once called it, is voodoo. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't follow any economic principle. It doesn't work. And the problem is, that's all of their policies. Those are their social policies too. People are having sex underage. Don't try to teach them not to do it and it's what's right and wrong, but then give them birth control if they're going to do it. Just deny it to them, and I'm sure they'll ignore their urges and everything will be okay.
That's all. Yeah.
Right. Everything about their belief system is stupid and is sort of a pre-science, not pre-progressive era, hell, almost pre-enlightenment, where they don't seem to, be able to incorporate their conservatism into anything about modern society. It's all just roll it back.
Well, and let's piggyback on that, because you're right. For 50 years, some of these parts of this country have voted conservative, and they have never delivered for them. Not once. Not their lives aren't better, their lives are worse. They have had consistent Republican representation for decades, and their lives still stink. I mean,
that stinks. Like, they're the worst. I mean, you rank on any social indicator: infant mortality, divorce. I mean, you can go through all of them.
Wages, unemployment, across the board.
Exactly. We now have, for the first time, a dichotomy based on both party and region, that where if you're more democratic and you live in a more democratic area, your lifespan is continuing to go up, and Republicans, it's going down. It literally can be measured by the kind of state you live in, by the kind of region you live in at this point. I mean, they're saying to all of their people, those damn liberals, you want to get them back? Here's what you do. You smoke a pack of cigarettes while shooting off an M16, while going and breathing in your neighbor's COVID purposely up as close to their face, lick their doorknob if they've got COVID. And then what you do is you sit there and you eat 8 racks of ribs, but after that have 14 pints of ice cream. Diabetes and COVID and gun deaths, and none of this stuff exists. I mean, they're telling their people to do this. Stay in the coal mines. Black lungs, awesome. And what I mean, that's what's going on. We see it because the Appalachian part, which is a slice of Ohio, I mean, the life expectancy is plummeting. They're following all of this garbage.